Hi, I'm Michael Kourosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kourosh, and today we are in Santa Barbara Design Center in the world famous rug room. This is my temple of joy, and as you can see, we have hundreds and hundreds of rugs to show. So we're gonna learn something at the end of it. Here we go. We gotta start today with a fabulous Qashqai kilim. Qashqais are the Turkish tribe that actually live in southwest Iran, and they moved there because of the greener pastures. These people are dependent on their herd and their sheep and their rams, and they move to the greener pastures for their benefit. So we start with this beautiful piece. It is a kilim. We don't see too many kilims as collectible items because not too many of them survived. This one is warp and weft, and it wears much faster. The tribes use this quite often because this is the first layer of the flooring they put under their tents and yurts. As we know, these are tribal people and they have temporary yurts, and the settlements they move from one place to the other and needs to be able to be mobile. And the kilims are the best thing to put as a first layer between the dirt and themselves. They put the kilim and then they put a rug over it. These are very densely woven, so the water doesn't come through, the moisture doesn't come through. If there's little bugs, little creatures on that vicinity, doesnn come through. At the same time, they are not very big, so they are made roughly, this is actually the biggest one you will see. They're usually 4x7, 5x8. This is a little bit longer because then they put these all around that little fire they have inside the tent. So this particular one was woven by a very talented lady, and she put quite a lot of colors. As you can see, getting these dyes in the nature is not easy, so they have to go out in the mountain and they dig the roots out, and then they have to cook it and dye it, and has a lot of time consuming project. But as you can see, so many rich colors, at the same time so variety of it. There's so many different indigos in here, and the green is also a byproduct of the indigo. They put yellow and blue to get that green. The ivory is a natural color. This is a fabulous old color. It's a aubergine, is a eggplant color they get from eggplant shells. You see it in all old rugs. Has 2-3 different greens, and the designs are actually spectacular. You have these beautiful arrows, they're sign of trees. You have this little creature. It is a pelt. They are animal skin basically. So they put that design in there. It's again sign of wealth. So they used to take the hides and trade it for wheat, for cotton, for things that they didn't grow and they could not have. For metal pots, they were very important to them, and they had to put cold hard cash or trade something like that for it. You have the guz, which is that little design is against evil eye. Most importantly, I see in this rug, it is very prevalent, but you might oversee it. It's the goddess of Anatolia again. I have said goddess of Anatolia, and these are again Turkish people. They come from that part of the world, and they carry this design for thousands of years with themselves. Goddess of Anatolia is giving birth to all of us. So that was before any other religion. They had this goddess of Anatolia. It's 8,000 years old, and that was the common thing. Most of us, our ancestors, actually, not us, I'm not 8,000 years old, but most of our ancestors used to pray to that lady. That used to be their god, used to be the person that gives life to them, goddess of Anatolia. Also in the border you can see it is reversed, but you can see it in the border. Most prevalent here. There are 1, 2, 3, over 200-300 of them. You have the steps, they're like a rainbow. You have again Guz against evil eye, and the stars is a yin and yang. It's beautiful. It's made on a wool pile and on a goat hair foundation, and this one is in a spectacular condition. Has also the end woven. This spectacular weave is called chichim, and again is started in Turkey, and it is quite old. A lot of my friends say it is Armenian. Well, back then Armenian and Turks used to be living together. It used to be the same people. If you go way back, they were actually identical people. They just religion changed their perspective. Fantastic piece. Come and look at it in Santa Barbara Design Center, and we will be back after a short break with another fabulous rug. Today we are with Jess, the owner and creative director of Just LED at the Santa Barbara Design Center, and he's a marvel of lighting. So I understand there is a new recessed lighting that replaces the old clunky big ones, is more ergodynamic, and you carry these. Can you explain to our viewers what this is all about and what kind of benefits they get out of it?
Yes, Michael. Traditionally, 6-inch and 4-inch has been the standard across America. The big clunky trims on the ceiling, you'll see them all over America. Since LED has come to another level on recessed fixtures, and as a designer, we like to see tight little go-away trims that you don't see, they're up in the ceiling. So we have trims that are 3.5 inches that go, the light sits up in the ceiling, so when you walk in it doesn't hit you in the face like the 6 and 4-inch traditional cans used to do. They also dim warm, so it's like the old traditional dimming. Everyone loves LED dimming to the way halogens used to. It's called warm dim, so they dim down nice and warmly. So, and it's all set above the ceiling, and it's all optical, sending shafts of light through the room, creating a great mood in the room.
Well, that's very nice, and I have seen it actually in your showroom. Come down here and see what he has to offer and make your house beautiful and warm. Thank you very much.
No problem.
This week on Michael's Minutes, we are going to talk about sectionals. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we will custom build a sectional to your specifications at our factory right here in California. No room is too big or too small. Our line of comfort sectionals are built to the exact size and shape you need for your room. Let you and your family enjoy the luxury of angel hair wrap, the most comfortable seating in the world. Choose from multiple colors and stain-resistant fabrics that can withstand children, pets, and spills. But don't just take my word for it. Come into Santa Barbara Design Center at 410 Olive Street and feel the comfort of a new sectional for yourself. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. We are still in the famous rug room. So, another rug I have to show you, it is from Turkey. It's a town in western Turkey. It's called Kayseri, and they were master weavers in copying other designs of the importance. So they took a Polonaise 15th century rug and they copied it to the detail. They took it's Persian cushion, they took a Caucasian dragon carpet and they copied it because there was a market in Europe back then. And we are talking about 18th, 19th century. They made a lot of those because when they came from Iran, they were actually a lot more expensive. So The Turkish people copied those designs, and even classical carpets back then, they were very expensive. So they copied the designs, and the merchants in Europe sold them. And they were actually good merit rugs. They were handmade. We call them copies, but they were actually original pieces. They had the design shared from old rugs. This we have today, a beautiful piece from Kayseri. I particularly like the ones that they are unique. This particular one is unique. It is a dragon carpet. These were originally made in the 16th, 17th century in Caucasus Mountains. Those people, the Armenians, Azeris, Abkhazia, and Georgians, they have a very close relationship to dragons. And as you know, dragons are everywhere in the whole world. And these people made rugs to honor the dragon, and they put them in there. So here is a beautiful design of a dragon. Here is a dragon. As you can see, he's flying. This is his head, the wings, the tail. And here's another one. Here's another one. And again, these people were hoping for a dragon and the phoenix to come to a fight. After fight, when they're having a fight, from their tear, from their blood and from their sweat, rain created. So these people are hoping that a dragon and a phoenix get to a fight and prosperity comes. So that's what the whole idea was originally. You have another, you can see, very beautifully drawn phoenix out here. You have the tiger, and tiger and lion are sign of royalty. The tiger is over there. There's a lot of little details in here. If you look carefully, it has a stylized eagle with the wings open flying. You have, again, bunch of phoenixes all around the border. In the medallions in the border, very, very detailed. You have a scorpion in the middle of a butterfly right there. That is just astonishing. You have little paisleys sticking out. You have little fishes. The tiny red things are fish. Again, paisley. Another scorpion. You have a stylized bee. Lots of flowers. They have blossoms. You see in the Caucasian carpets, they like a lot of flowers. These are a blossom, and a very big one actually at that, because you can imagine this was a big rug. It was 7 by 20, 8 by 20, which this guy's reduced it to a 4 by 6 format we have here. This one is a silk on a cotton foundation. The reason they didn't do silk foundation because it was expensive. These were supposed to be copies of the originals, and they were supposed to be less expensive. Also, it's not very finely knotted. If you look in the back, it has probably like about 100 to 150 knots per square inch. And back then in Turkey, they could do a lot finer rugs, which they did in silk. Maybe I should bring one for the next rug and show it to you. It's a fantastic work of art. It's beautiful and has all the elements one person wants to have. It's as beautiful as any painting you can get, and it has a lot more details. Anytime I look at this, actually I discover something new. I had not seen these little motifs in here. I just noticed. It's beautiful. And this is, again, is a very detailed trellises in there. Again, beautiful rug. Come and see it. Next up, we have this Persian Nain. I generally do not show rugs that they were made post 1920s. I collect usually the rugs that they are made pre 1900s, and specifically the really old ones I collect. But sometimes I come along pieces that they're extraordinary, and modern rugs are very cool. I like them. I sell them day in, day out, but I don't collect them necessarily. This particular one is slightly different. So in a period of 1940s to like 1980, which was the year after revolution, there was a prosperous middle class and upper middle class in Iran that required beautiful rugs. So if you realize, before that, mostly these people are tribal, village and city people, but mostly could not afford the rugs they were manufacturing. They were made for exports to Europe, to United States, to other parts of the world, for the very super wealthy people. So the classes have changed. Now this is a prosperous country. Iran used to be pre-revolution, and they required rugs to be made for the domestic market. So they made rugs in Nain, Isfahan, Tabriz, and Qom specifically for the domestic market. And the requirements were very different. Iranians are like most Eastern people. They like the fine work, the craftsmanship they value quite a lot. Not necessarily the design and color, which is important, but more importantly, the craftsmanship, the hours that goes into making a work of art is very important to them. And back then, they used to be a hedge against inflation. Nowadays, today is again. But back then, they used to buy rugs as investment and hedge against inflation, especially in Iran. So they made these carpets very fine. If you flip this one back, this has like about 400 to 450 knots per square inch. This is extremely fine work. And everything is outlined with silk. And if you look at it, the colors are ivory on ivory with a little bit blues, and this used to be the predominant style of those days in Iran. Again, we're talking period revolution. Everything was a little bit more like a French style. They had this delicate furniture, hand carved, lots of gold, whites, and this type of rug looked very good in there. This particular one was woven in a factory owned by Habibian. Habibian was the premier rug maker in Nain, which is close to Isfahan, and they made the finest rugs for upper middle class in Iran, and very wealthy used to have these, and they used to make them in every size. Actually, they made mostly in large sizes, and they are like about a 8 by 11, 10 by 13, and bigger. Hard to come by little pieces in a mint condition. They used to have the little ones. It was not making much money, so they didn't make too many little ones. But the ones they made, usually they wore out and not too many around. I like this piece. It's made very finely. The wool on these, they call it cork. Again, is the first wool they get from a baby lamb. And it is the finest wool you can get, and hence you can spin it tighter, and then you can get finer threads, you can make finer knots. It's very important for making a lot of knots per square inch. You need to have a fine thread, which this wool was very suitable for. Again, a lot of silk in it, has always a medallion and 4 corners. Beautiful colors. It's actually today's colors. You have the ivory, you have the light blue, dark blue accents, has a tiny little bit of a sage in there and a little bit of a cream and flesh color. Very nice looking. Again, Habibian Nain, and I have these in few different sizes. It's a beautiful piece, and I just want to show you something that is not ancient, but is very valuable and nice. When we come back, we will show you yet another fabulous rug. Stay tuned. Let's talk about my favorite subject, rugs. Here at Rugs & More inside Santa Barbara Design Center, we pride ourselves in offering the finest selection of rugs. With any size, shape, and design imaginable, let us help you find the ideal rug for your home. We have a vast assortment of new and antique rugs. Whether you're looking for a touch of modern or an heirloom that can be passed down for generations, you will find it here. Also, we offer expert repair and cleaning to bring your treasured family rugs back to life. Don't settle for poorly made internet rugs. Let's get real. They are made with harmful chemicals and they don't last. Our rugs are the best for less, and we always offer our 110% lowest price guarantee. And to save even more, come in during our rug sale and let our expert staff guide you to the perfect rug. Rugs & More inside Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are in the famous rug room and my favorite room in the whole world. for the final rug today, we have this amazing mid-19th century Caucasian carpet. Caucasus is north of Iran, south of the former Soviet Union. These are new republics that used to be the part of Soviet Union, which is Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, and Abkhazia. These are separate republics now. Back then, through the history, used to be a part of Old Persia. And when this was made, was part of Old Persia before the Russians annexed it. So this rug is slightly bigger in scale for the looms this people in Shirvan use. Shirvan is a town in Azerbaijan, currently Azerbaijan, and it has been weaving there for millennia. It is an unusual piece, again, it's bigger, and it was made probably on commission because the colors are out of this world. Somebody said, I like this and that, and they did it. So the lady who wove it was very artistic. If you look at it, has a lot of color ranges. So you start with red, you have this aubergine, you have the gold from saffron, you have the indigo, you have the madder, and then you have the mix of the both gold and blue to give that green. It's beautiful, richly done. It has a lot of symbolism, starting with this beautiful goat and ram. You see the horns are even decorated as flowers. So the rams are their wealth. So she put quite a lot of them everywhere, sign of wealth and fertility. You have the little chickens everywhere. The little birds are here, there, and you see the chickens. You have the dog in the two top. You see the two dogs there. They are sign of loyalty and honor, and is a beautiful thing. Here you have at the very top, you have the half crescent is the moon, and then is 8-sided Memling gold, that is the lunar calendar, is an ancient design. You have the 8-sided stars, again, one of the oldest designs you can find in humanity. You have these checkered boxes, they are yin and yang, and you have a lot of them everywhere, all around the rug. You have these crosses. Actually, now they look like arrows, but they actually used to be crosses connecting to each other, and here in the middle is the cross, as you can see, is worn. Again, I try not to collect worn rugs because they have lost their pile and they are not that desirable unless they are really old or they tell a story as vividly as this one does. This one, extraordinary imagination goes to the making of this rug. At the very top, you see that flame is a ancient design, comes from Zoroastrian religion, and these people pray to the sun god and subsequently to the fire. Fire is what made humans' life easier. So we used to be hunter-gatherers and we used to eat all this raw material, and like monkeys do today, they spend quite a lot of time chewing and they have less time. So the fire enabled us to live our life a little bit freely, and we had more time. That's the sun god, and Zarathustra said this is the first monolithic religion and sun. So that's the flame of wisdom. We're talking about 5,000 years of continuous design. That design, generation after generation, they have done. You see these beautiful bird heads in there. It is a very symbolic piece right there. There are two beautiful birds. In the middle is a tree of life going up. Fantastic design. You have this again, you have the peacock tails in this little center. You have it in here too. The middle one is gold, and this gold they get from saffron. It's an expensive dye, and they use it in strategic points like the corners, the edges, and the sides. As you can see, they are all the main border is in saffron. You have interlocking dragons. These are interlocking dragons. You have 8-sided star here again. These are the little dragons that are against evil eye. And these little strips are running water, sign of prosperity. Full of meaning, full of stories to tell. Again, a beautiful piece and heritage piece, something that has been around. As you can see, the motif is 5,000 years old. Okay, you should come and see it, Santa Barbara Design Center. So we will be back after short messages. Stay tuned. This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about modern and transitional rugs. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we have over 1,000 modern and transitional rugs at any given time in various sizes and colors. A modern or transitional rug can completely transform your living space. It can make a cold room comfortable or balance out an uneven contrast. We can also custom make the modern rug of your dreams, designed to your specification, taste, and color. And at Santa Barbara Design Center, we can do it faster, better, for less. That's why the top designers in the world use our modern and transitional rugs. To see our vast collection or start designing your custom masterpiece, come visit us at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. We are now going to explore the history of a great work of art. Please join us. The Starry Night is an oil-on-canvas painting by the Dutch post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh. Painted in June 1889, it depicts the view from the east-facing window of his asylum room in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, just before sunrise. In 1888, Van Gogh suffered a severe mental breakdown, which included the infamous mutilation of his left ear. After checking himself into Saint-Rémy, he began to paint what he saw out of his hospital window. This included day and night studies of the cypress trees and his addition of an imaginary village below. Starry Night was primarily painted during the day from Van Gogh's recollections of what he would see the night before. Van Gogh spoke little of the painting, though it was referenced in several letters he sent to his brother Theo. Vincent sent the painting to Theo, who possessed it until his death just a few months after Vincent's. Theo's widow then sold it, and it exchanged hands several times throughout the early decades of the 20th century, before being acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City in 1941. Widely regarded as Van Gogh's magnum opus, The Starry Night is one of the most recognizable paintings in Western art. Thank you for joining us as we learned about this important work of art.